Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to another pick a card session. So today we are answering obviously the question, what are they thinking about me? So I've created 3 groups that I'm going to be showing you in a second, but some of you may have popped over here from TikTok, and if so, welcome. If not, if this is your first time seeing this video, hello and welcome. My name is Katie. I am a professional tarot reader going on, I think 6 years professionally now. And a medical student as well. So welcome, thank you for stopping by the channel today. I've prepared for you the 3 groups. You would have already seen them on TikTok as like little teasers. If you haven't, I've linked those specific videos in the description box. If you want to use those as your method for helping you choose your group, feel free to do so and then come back to the video. If not, I will be showing you the groups and I'll give you a second, obviously, to pick which group is yours to receive your message. If you feel drawn to multiple stones, then you simply have multiple messages today. Today's video is brought to you by one of my newest products that I have put on my website, and it is meant for those who are interested in learning to read tarot for themselves. It's a guided reading, and it's a 45-minute long video with a PDF, including the spread, the layout for the spread called the Celtic Cross spread. It's a very classic spread that is used very often among professional tarot readers, and it's a really great way to get a generalized check-in for your life, whether you're reading for yourself, if you're reading for other people. So if you feel called to check it out, if you are interested in learning tarot for yourself, or even if you're interested in starting to learn how to read for other people, it's a really great resource where I share with you all of my tips and tricks on not only like how I interpret each individual card, but how I find the patterns and connect the dots on everything associated with that spread. So if you'd like to check it out, I've linked it in the description box below as well. So without further ado, we're going to dive into these groups today. Pick the stones or multiple stones that you feel drawn to, and we will dive into today's message. All of the timestamps will be linked in the description box below. Welcome to the table in our 3 groups to answer the question, what are they thinking about me? So you can see group number 1 here features the blue calcite. Group number 2 features the amethyst heart-shaped stone, and group number 3 features the quartz. These are all of the cards that I pulled initially for the videos that I posted on YouTube. So again, feel free to go check those out if you'd like. Otherwise, we're going to be shuffling other cards and bringing in potentially the pendulum as well to get you all of your messages for today's session. So feel free to take a second to make your choice. And again, everything is linked in the description box. All of the timestamps are there so that you can jump right into your reading. Okay, welcome to group number 1 here with the blue calcite. So let's go ahead and unpack these cards so far. So we had here Spear, Heartache Over What You No Longer Have, the 5 of Wands, and the Magician. So what I was saying in the TikTok video that I created is that I definitely feel like this person that you were, I feel like this is someone that you're probably in separation with. And I do genuinely think that they have massive regrets about how things ended between the 2 of you. The Spear here, again, heartache over what you no longer have. That's a clear indication that I think that this relationship is currently out of sync. The 5 of Wands, this represents like 2 siblings undergoing a fight or some kind of a disagreement. And so I felt like this was saying that this is someone who genuinely regrets the way that they acted towards you. And they felt like it was just really beneath them, really immature, and that they said a lot of things and did a lot of things as a way of lashing out, as a protective mechanism. But now that they've done so, they just completely regret everything that they've done, right? But the good news here is that we did get the Magician, which is a reference to wanting to start a new adventure, wanting to start a new journey. So I do genuinely think that they are interested in some kind of reconciliation with you and potentially bringing things back together. But we're going to go ahead and pull more cards today and see if we can get more in-depth details as to what's going on. So Ten of Swords, another clear indicator that this is a relationship that is ended. But man, they've got some definite heartbreak here. Ten of Swords, it typically represents some kind of sabotage, whether it's something that you've sabotaged, or if I think that they more so feel like they've sabotaged this connection themselves. The Ten of Swords tends to represent the end of a cycle, the end of a relationship, the end of something. It's about things coming to a close, right? Three of Swords represents massive heartbreak. So I think that they are clearly in the state of mind where they're feeling like they messed up. They feel like they pushed you way too hard. And now they feel like you're probably not going to come back. Ace of Pentacles, yet again, they do want to come forward. They do want to move forward in this relationship with another sign of commitment. And it's really cool here, honestly, to see that they have the Strength card, because this is representing that I think that they're starting to own their weaknesses. They're starting to own the mistakes that they made. And I think that if they haven't made an apology yet, I feel like they're on the verge of doing so. But there's a reason here why the two of you are no longer in connection, right? So let's pull some more cards here and see if we can kind of suss this out a little bit more. Okay. So we have handshake, a meeting with a stranger could be important. Desk, pay attention to your work. And finally here, key, successful outcome to your problems. So very interesting. I'm really getting the impression here that I think that they feel that they need to become something bigger. They need to become more before they can be like, before they can provide what they want to provide to the relationship. I think that their biggest issue is that because of all of this past poor behavior here with the Five of Wands, because remember I said it's like a very childlike kind of energy, a very immature kind of an energy. I think that what they've done is after going through this, they've started just throwing themselves into their work because they want to be able to prove themselves as something more. Perhaps when the two of you were in connection, they might have made a lot of promises about what they wanted to become, what they were working towards, but then they never seemed to keep those promises. And now that the two of you are no longer in separation, it's like that drive has been put into hyper speed mode, you know, because they're going through so much pain that the only way for them to no longer have to endure the pain that they feel as a result of being this heartbroken without you in their life is to simply throw themselves into their work. The handshake, meeting with a stranger could be important, is interesting. I'm going to go ahead and pull a clarifier on it. Okay, that's interesting. So we've got here the Two of Swords, and this typically represents like fear of making some kind of a decision here. So twos in general in tarot, they tend to represent like decisions, a fork in the road. Do I go this route or that route? Do I make this move or say this thing or not do anything at all, right? Getting it reversed, I think that it's as if like someone in their life is going to come forward and tell them like, you need to reach out, you know, you need to say something or you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. So it is possible here that if they haven't met this person already, they could be, you know, contemplating whether or not now is the right time to reach out, because it definitely feels like they want to do that, right? But the thing about the number one is that usually this is just like an idea. It's an epiphany. It's not necessarily them moving forward and taking action on it. You would see that more so with the threes, right? So because we've already got this two here, it means that they're one step closer to actually taking that action and reaching out to you. And I think what's going to happen here is that some kind of a stranger is going to come forward, or some person, maybe they have a direct conversation with them, or perhaps it's just someone saying something, like maybe they see a line in a movie or something and they just get the inspiration to call you. Something like that seems like it's what's going to need to happen before they build up the courage to reach out. Now I'm curious to know, like, if you were to reach out, what would happen as a result of that? So let's go ahead and pull more cards on that. Wow, that's really interesting. We've got another two. We have the Two of Pentacles, we have the Five of Pentacles reversed, and finally the Seven of Wands. So I think that even if you were to reach out, it wouldn't necessarily move forward this Ace of Pentacles energy, which is them like beginning the stages of being committed to you again, or being in a relationship with you. I think it will more so just kind of make them continue to stay put in that, like, am I ready to do this? Am I in the right phase of my life? Am I enough to be with this person, you know? Am I enough to be with you? Five of Pentacles reversed, that is really good to see. Whenever I get the Five of Pentacles reversed, for me, that represents a homecoming, meaning like in the upright, the Five of Pentacles tends to represent someone who feels excommunicated, shunned, or banished away from a community or a place that they used to feel was their home. And so to see that reversed, that for me really says that, you know, it's like a reassuring sign of, like, if you were to do so, it would be reassuring to them to know that you're still there, that you're still interested. Seven of Wands reversed, I don't think it would lead to, there just wouldn't be any action being taken. Seven of Wands in the upright, it also tends to represent someone that's like super urgent, putting out a lot of fires. Honestly, I do tend to get this card to represent people pleasing. So, I mean, honestly, this person that you're dealing with, they do seem very steadfast and very headstrong as well, right? I mean, especially with that Leo card that we got here, there's a lot of pride involved. And I think that it's going to take a lot for them to just immediately switch from, you know, lashing out with these anger issues here with the Five of Wands into someone who is walking along with their talking. You know what I mean? So, I mean, at the end of the day, you could reach out if you wanted to. I don't think it would necessarily change anything. I think more so that this is kind of balls in their court. They have to make the decision as to whether or not they feel like they're ready or that they're enough to be with you. So at the end of the day, the decision is yours, right? Do you want to stay, or do you want to wait for someone else to come along? And I don't know. I think with everything that's going on here, if anything, I have respect for this situation, you know, because they want to be able to put their best foot forward. And that is something that I would respect. I would want to be the best version of myself if I'm engaging in a relationship. But on the other hand, it is possible to be in a relationship with someone and still be going through that healing process. So I think that that's probably something that you're going to have to look deep within your heart to make that decision. Let's go ahead and pull you some blessing cards from the Blessed Be Oracle. Okay. So you've got two here. You have a blessing from your ancestors and a blessing for those who are nearing their final breath. Wow. This feels a bit more like divine guidance, especially with the blessing from your ancestors. But also, like, whenever I see the blessing for those that are nearing their final death, I don't always interpret that to mean that someone's passing on to the other side. I tend to also see it as like the final breath of a specific chapter, or, you know, like that version of themselves, you know? And that's really more so how I'm seeing it being portrayed here in this entire spread altogether, is I feel like the person that you're dealing with, they're going through a transformation. They're going through a change. And I mean, if I were in your shoes, I wouldn't want to stay in the same place if they're already on a trajectory to growing and evolving into something more, right? Like, I would want to be using that as motivation of like, if they're working on themselves, then I want to be working on myself too, right? Because clearly the only way that this relationship can work in the future is if the two of you are both growing and evolving. And if they're putting in that work and effort to work on themselves and you're not, then you might find difficulty there. So thank you so much for joining me, Group 1, in today's session. I really hope that these messages spoke to you or resonating for you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and a comment. And if you do feel called to join me for private reading sessions, I have sessions starting at $11.11. And you can also learn how to read tarot for yourself. All of the information is in the description box below. So thank you again for joining me. Light and love to you, my friends, and I will look forward to seeing you in future readings. Take care. Okay, welcome Group 2 and the Amethyst Stone. So let's go ahead and unpack these cards and see what is going on today. So we have for you Hand, in need of help, assistance, and guidance. We also have the Eight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So this is a scenario where I feel like this person definitely thinks very highly of you, in terms of this is someone who's very committed to this relationship, to this connection with you. The Eight of Pentacles, this represents someone who, it's like an apprenticeship or internship card. So it really represents someone who's coming in with the interest of wanting to learn all of the aspects and facets that make you who you are. They want to get to know like all the interesting little tidbits, like what your favorite color is, what your favorite food is, what foods you don't like, what your favorite movie is. Just like all of those little cute little mini tidbits, but they're looking to expand and they're looking to grow with that, right? They want to deepen the relationship, clearly. Now, the only thing that seems like is holding them back here is this Queen of Pentacles, because even though it feels like they have that interest in wanting to commit to the relationship, there does seem to be a definite insecurity when it comes to making that commitment or to diving in. Now, the ways that this could come through either is because they just simply have a fear or an insecurity of commitment. Perhaps they might have a fear of abandonment, or feeling like if they make too much of an investment that perhaps they might get taken advantage of. But the Queen of Pentacles can also represent a mother figure or even a past ex. So they might have someone in their life that could be an earth sign feminine. So could be a Virgo, a Taurus, a Capricorn. And like I said, it could either be a mother figure, it could be an ex girlfriend, you never know. But what's happening here for sure is that whatever happened here is creating a lot of insecurity with wanting to move forward with you. So the Hand, the in need of help, assistance, and guidance, I think that they're just looking for a bit more reassurance that moving into this connection with you is something that is worth the investment, so to say, and that they feel like they're not going to be getting taken advantage of. So let's dive in further here. I've got the Everyday Witch Tarot, so we're going to go ahead and give these a shuffle and see what's going on. Okay, well, I like that. So King of Cups could be representing them as a potential water sign here, so Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. If not, it genuinely represents that they have very, very dear, affectionate, romantic feelings for you. So we love to see that. Page of Pentacles, again, as another card that's like, this is someone who's wanting to come forward with the offering of commitment and investment. Pentacles tends to represent the element of earth. So this is related to finances, career, sometimes material possessions. And if we're reading these cards in terms of like relationships, it's more so that they're wanting to kind of lay down their roots or really start to settle into the relationship rather than just kind of keeping things surface level. Now, Four of Cups, very similar vibe to what I was talking about here before, kind of more so leaning towards an insecurity here. The Four of Cups, it it's talking about like emotional apathy for me, which for me that means that it's someone who could be bored. They might be feeling like maybe not enough is going on in the relationship. Or again, it could also be them emotionally holding you at a distance because there's a fear of making that investment or diving into the relationship deeper. Let's pull more. Yeah. They have very genuine feelings for you. Two of Cups, very deep emotional bond. This could be a soulmate twin flame connection for sure. So let's switch gears. I do feel really called here to pull from this oracle deck. It's called the Rebel Oracle. So we're going to pull some cards from here. Okay, so we have here, you are the best thing to ever happen to you. Go easy on your ass. Buy your own damn drink. So, very interesting. I get the impression that the last person that they were in a relationship with either took advantage of them or was just plain and simple like a very needy person. So, I think the thing about you is that to them, like in their experience, you seem like you have your head on your shoulders. You seem like you're so much more independent and so much more sure of yourself than their previous relationship was. And possibly what that could mean then, actually that makes a lot of sense, is there's a little bit of intimidation here. You know, like they're intrigued by you, they're interested by you, but I think that they also view you as a bit of a challenge too, because you're a step up in comparison to other people that they've dated, other people that they've been in connection with in the past. We're going to pull from Tea Leaf Oracle. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we have your flag. Do not be tempted to lower your standards and cobweb, protective from negative forces beyond your control. So what I would suggest to you in this scenario is like, do not back down, right? Like clearly you are speaking to them in a way that makes them want to put in the work, that makes them want to put in the effort. And them being standoffish has nothing to do with them being disinterested in you, right? Because clearly that Four of Cups here is showing that maybe they're not showing as much emotional connection as you would have hoped, but there's nothing wrong with you, right? Do not be tempted to lower your standards. Their issue is simply that they feel 100% intimidated, right? They need help, they need assistance. But I like this. The cobweb is saying protected from negative forces beyond your control. This is a good sign to me, because what this is saying is that as long as you continue to shine your bright light, like, and keep yourself going, they're going to eventually get their act together and shape up and realize like, okay, you know, it's either sink or swim at this point. I think that you're in a position where your only goal, your only job at this point in time is to just continue going forward, and expect nothing less, right? Because the minute that you lower your standard, the minute that you're going to continue to be dissatisfied with the relationship itself. Let's pull a few more cards here. Okay, so it definitely looks like this relationship is going very slow, right? Kind of seems like they're being really slow out of the gate. And again, to clarify, it has nothing to do with them not being interested in you. It has everything to do with intimidation. Knight of Pentacles is the slow but steady action. This is like my favorite of all 4 of the knights. It can sometimes have its pros, it can sometimes have its cons, but for this particular scenario, I really like seeing this for you. Page of Wands reversed. Pages again represent people that are coming forward with offerings. Wands tends to represent like creativity, artwork, physical romance or intimacy, and then finally physical travel. So perhaps your guys' connection might be slow in the bedroom. It might also just be slow in terms of like the passion and the lust connection, or even like you could be distanced because of travel. But at the end of the day, you do have here the 6 of Wands and also the 2 of Cups. So this is very clearly a really good connection, romantically speaking. And the only way that it's going to grow is if you continue to stay steadfast in what it is that you're looking for in a relationship, right? They'll get their act together. You know, you don't have to worry about that. The only challenge at this point in time is to not lower your standards, plain and simple, okay? So let's go ahead and finish up this reading with some blessing cards from the Blessed Oracle. These are always so hard for me to shuffle. Okay, so you've got 2 today. You have a blessing to find your way and a blessing to heal a relationship. That's the perfect way to end this reading. Everything's going to be fine. Everything is going to go in the direction that you would like to see it go. You just got to stay steadfast with yourself. This might mean just focusing on you for a little bit, you know? But regardless, thank you so much for joining me in today's session. I really hope that you were able to find some good guidance today, some good resonating messages. If you do feel called to let me know your thoughts, I would love it if you'd leave a like and a comment on the video, letting me know how this resonated in your life. And if you're also interested in diving into a personal reading with me, my private readings start at $11.11, so you can find that in the description box, as well as information if you're interested in learning how to read tarot for yourself. So thank you again for joining me in today's session. Light and love to you, my friend, and I look forward to seeing you in future readings. Take care. Okay, hello, group number 3 and the quartz stone. So let's go ahead or crystal, I should say. Let's go ahead and unpack these cards and see what we have going on for you. So we have Fly, a period of ill health and depression. We have the Hanged Man reversed and the Emperor. So first thing that always strikes me is that anytime I see the Hanged Man reversed, the word that always comes to mind is stubborn. Stubborn attitude, stubborn actions, right? They're not moving. And that's also really reinforced here with the Emperor, which is representing someone who's sitting in a throne that's made of stone. It's also represented here with the tortoise, which is a very slow moving creature. But finally, the Emperor too, it represents the zodiac sign of Aries. So it's a little bit of an immature vibe. Now, what they could be thinking here is that it's likely just that they're frustrated, that, you know, I think that perhaps what might have happened is maybe there was some kind of an argument or a disagreement of some kind. And it's not that they don't have feelings for you anymore. It's just that there's a massive sense of stubbornness here. And I think a lot of what's going on is mostly that it's not just your guys' connection. I think it's just there's a lot of things that it feels like it's imploding in their life in general, because they do have here Fly, right? The period of ill health and depression. So there's a lot going on underneath the surface that perhaps they're not communicating to you. And this stubborn energy, I think, is their way of expressing, like, I don't know how to communicate how I'm feeling right now. Therefore, I'm just going to stay put, right? It's a very stuck vibe. So let's dive deeper into this, see what's really going on here. Wow. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so Ace of Pentacles reversed, the Strength card reversed, and we also have the Ace of Wands reversed. So there's not a lot of movement and progression here for sure. Whenever I get aces represent new opportunities, epiphanies, or ideas for like a movement or direction that someone wants to go in. The creativity is gone and the commitment is gone. So if this relationship currently has come to a close, again, really wanting to reinforce here that this does not mean that they do not have feelings for you. It's that they're really frustrated, and mentally, I think that they're really, really struggling. The Strength card being reversed is another major indicator here that they feel extremely vulnerable. Something might have happened within your guys' connection where maybe something happened where you might have intimidated them, or maybe it feels like you're doing better than they are in life right now. But I think that honestly, their mind and their head is really just getting the better of them. And I think because of that, they're tending to kind of blow things out of proportion, potentially like projecting their own thoughts and issues onto you or onto other people. And I think that they're really starting to go through a period here of massive isolation. Let's pull some more. Okay. Yeah, that one makes total sense. So, very interesting. So, even though romantically they're not necessarily coming forward with an offer here, because the Page of Cups can sometimes, for me, reversed represent like a rejection sometimes. Even though they're rejecting you, it doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. Because Four of Cups here, this tends to represent in the upright someone that's like emotionally distancing themselves or holding someone at an emotional distance. But there's another ace, there's a fourth cup, like they're focusing on the 3, which tends to represent like heartbreak and loss. But then the ace, a single cup right there, the single cup does tell me that they still have passion, that they still have emotional feelings toward you. So when I get this card reversed, you know, it's clear to me that they still have a lot of passionate feelings toward you. And that everything that's keeping them away from you or that keeps this connection in separation is really their mental health. It is really that whatever is going on in their lives is affecting them so greatly that they've just isolated themselves from everyone that they love in general. Let's pull some tea leaf oracles on this situation. Okay, got quite a few that flew out. So we have here Peacock, beware of great pride, heart, love, deep affection, and caring. Fair woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. I'll pull a clarifier on this. Rainbow, like this, the most difficult part of a situation is over. And then we have here the month of June. So, I mean, these are just reinforcing what I was saying. Pride for me resonates with the stubborn vibe. And then the heart, clearly they still have romantic feelings towards you. And then it feels like things are going to start to kind of repair for them. So let's pull some clarifiers here for the fair woman and the month of June and see what's going on there. Where's my deck? There it is. Look at that. So there could be someone in their life really playing a role here. Queen of Swords could be representing a potential air sign woman, so a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. It could also be representing someone who your person is in deep communication with. This could be someone who is trying to help them logically see what's going on in their life. They might be trying to help or assist them in recovery. So I don't know if this is maybe a mother figure or maybe that this is just someone that's like the only person that they've been keeping close into their life. But it definitely seems like they are of help. They are of assistance to them. The month of June, I think that represents Gemini? Yeah, it is Gemini. May 20th to June 20th. So this woman could be a Gemini. It could also represent that like something might happen for you at the next month of June for you. So let's look this up. So 4 of Pentacles. So this is about like fear of making a risk, making some kind of an investment. I don't know. Let me pull one more card. Because it seems like they are kind of sitting on their feet. I was wondering if maybe June meant them starting to recover. Again, it could also be representing that this woman is a Gemini in specific. Hang on, let me pull one more. Oh, okay. So 10s represent the end of something. 10 of Swords tends to represent sabotage though, so self-sabotage or someone else sabotaging them. It feels like at the end of it all, like the 10 of Swords is usually representing someone walking away from a painful scenario or a painful situation. So, this could be representing recovery. My gut is kind of leaning towards that. Let me pull one more clarifier here. Seven of Cups. Yeah. It feels like it's more so like them starting to pull themselves out of the trenches in terms of mental health. Seven of Cups is also like daydreaming, procrastination. It's a little bit of indecisiveness too. So, I mean, if you're looking to see if this is a connection that's going to be returning or coming back together anytime soon, I'm not 100% certain if I see that for you, because the Seven of Cups can tend to represent someone who's trying to juggle multiple different passions or interests, or perhaps even dating a couple of different people. But I think that this is what they need to do in order to get their healing, right? I think that their connection with you, I think that they still hold a lot of really dear passion and emotional connection towards you. But a lot of what's going on here, it feels, again, like that stubborn energy. It's like they've been pushing you away on purpose. And likely it's because they don't necessarily know what it is that they're looking for. Jim Carrey had this amazing quote where he was saying that someone who is depressed really needs to be going through a stage of deep rest, right? And he was explaining that it was because when people are depressed, it means that they're playing a character that is not in synchronicity with what their soul really feels that they are. And so when we go through that period of depression, we have to go through that stage of deep rest in order for us to heal and in order for us to really remember who we are, what we want in life, right? So I realize that this sounds heartbreaking, but I do think that they have a lot of deep passion for you and that it potentially could come back together in the future. But I think that they have to do their own searching on their own. They have to figure that out for themselves because they're doing that soul searching. And that's really what I was getting from that Seven of Cups. So let's finish up this reading here with some Rebel Oracle and then some blessings. Okay, so we have here, make better choices. If you're pissed at where you are, then stop taking yourself there. And we have, take a trip, go see some stuff, do some new things, talk to people cooler than you. So I think this is going to be a really big opportunity for the both of you to move on, to experience life in a really amazing way. They need to do their own healing. They need to do their own soul searching, but I think you do too. And this connection has the potential, definitely, for it to return, to come back together when you both have done that healing. But for right now, you are better off helping yourself than trying to put your energy into this person because they're needing to go on a separate route. So let's finish up this reading with some blessing cards from the Blessed Be Oracle. Okay, so we have a blessing of the air. So that is a blessing for communication, for education. Again, also we have that air sign woman coming in. So I think that she is being a really big help to them. Again, I think it might be like a mother figure or someone of authority in their life. And we also have a blessing of fire. So this is about finding passion, creativity, you know, an interest or love for life in general. So it's going to be okay. I would say give this person time, potentially reach back out again in the month of June, whenever that's going to be for you coming up next. And otherwise, that's it. So thank you so much, group number 3, Quartz Point, for joining me in today's session. I really hope that you found some healing, some guidance, some resonating messages today. If you feel called to let me know how this resonated for you, I'd love to see you leave a like on the video as well as a comment letting me know where this connected in your life. And if you do feel called to join me for a private reading, my readings start at $11.11. So you can find that linked in the description box, as well as information on how to learn tarot from me. So light and love to you, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me in today's session. I wish you all the best, and I will look forward to seeing you in future readings. Take care.